Hello, I'm Thomas.
So what was your story, man?
Question is, what was my story? One evening, I'm leaving my house, going to my girlfriend's house, and on the way there, I noticed, coming down one of the blocks, I noticed an unmarked car. It was a truck. I think it was a Jeep Cherokee, that the new one of the new ones that they ride around in nowadays. It was coming towards me, bright lights. So as I'm passing, their windows were cracked down just a little bit, and I seen a white face. And from then on, I was like, okay, being in the neighborhood that I live in, I know that this is probably a cop. So I kept going. I made a left onto a block, and I noticed as I got onto my girlfriend's block that they had made a U-turn and were following me. So okay, I didn't do anything. I made all my signals. My windows aren't tinted as dark as some are, but they are tinted. So I turned down my girlfriend's block, and I knew for sure that they were following me after I turned down her block, because as they passed her block, they stopped, and they noticed that I was pulling into her driveway. And then, officers aren't allowed to pull you over if you're in a driveway, but if you're outside of someone's house, they can pull you over. So I waited until they passed, and I pulled out of her driveway to park on the street. So as I did that, there was another unmarked car at the end of the street that I hadn't noticed, and they pulled up behind me and they flashed their lights. So the officer approaches the car and he says, where are you coming from? And I said, my house. He said, where are you going? I said, right here. This is my girlfriend's house. So they said, well, we just got a call in that someone that has a car just like yours just got into a fight and beat up a Spanish guy, knocked him clean out. And I told him, I said, well, I can reassure you that wasn't me. I just left my house. I'm just coming to my girlfriend's house. So they're asking me, are you sure? And I'm saying, yes, I am sure. He said, where'd you get this car? I said, it's my car. They said, can I see your license and registration, please? And I asked the officer, what did I do? He couldn't answer the question. So he said, can I see your license and registration, please? And I said, what did I do wrong? So he repeated himself again. And I said, what did I do wrong? So he said, what you're doing wrong now is you're not giving me your information. So to avoid any other trouble, I gave him my information, and he looked at it, and he asked me to step out the car. So I stepped out the car, lights are shining on me. About 6 other officers hop out of another car, all undercover cops, hop out of another car, and they approached my car and they pat me down. And they asked me if they're going to be stuck by anything. Do I have any guns? Do I have any drugs in the car? I said, I don't have any of the above. And the guy that I was originally talking to asked me to sit at the trunk of my car. So I sat at the trunk of my car while 4 other officers surrounded me and were trying to talk to me calmly. And the one that was originally talking to me went to search my car. He doesn't have that right. I didn't give him permission to search my car, but he searched it anyway. So my girlfriend and her family came out, and they were, asking questions. What happened? What did he do? And I've done nothing. So after they were done, one of the as I was sitting on the trunk, one of the officers were asking me, what do you do? Where do you work? And I was honest. I told him I work, for, I have a great job. Where'd you get this car? It's my car. I bought this car. I said, you sure? Yeah. Are you sure that you didn't have any fights tonight? You sure you didn't beat anybody up? And I showed him my hands, and I said, if I beat anybody up, you would see scratches or scars or something. So he said, well, the call that we got, and we heard that the guy just knocked him clean out. And I said, well, you still don't see anything on my hands. You would have noticed I would have knocked somebody out. So the officer that was searching my car, I guess, was done searching my car, and they asked me if I was sure that I hadn't gotten into any fights or anything that night. I said, I'm very sure. And after that, they said, all right, you're good to go. They gave me back my information. So, moral of the story is, for me, that was a situation where there are officers out there who are seeing a black man in a nice car, and then, they wanted to pull me over because of that. I did nothing wrong. Made all my signals, because I knew they were going to turn around and follow me when I first seen them. So, it was a bad situation where, unfortunately, there are still officers out there who are still like that.